Today I just got this thought about God. Like people say, so and so is my God, and so is my God. And they also say there's only one God. I think in Islam, they say Prophet is the God, and there's no other God, and he's the only God. Christians say Jesus is the God, there's no other God. And so other religions. Hindu say different gods, but in Hinduism they say there's one supreme God, Paramatma. But yeah, there is Hinduism says gods are formless, but they are in the form worshipped in a form, also physical form, and they have a image also. Like in Christianity, Jesus has a photograph; he existed physically, so he is the God for Christians. And Prophet, Islam Prophet existed in physical form, and he was called God. And Hinduism, there are so many gods which are formless, have not been seen. Yeah, but there are stories that somebody saw so and so God. But those were like momentary viewing by some individual, but they did not exist in the physical form. Like, but now Krishna, Lord Krishna, then we have Ram, Lord Ram. So they were also, but they were called avatars of Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu, nobody has seen. So Lord Vishnu did not exist in his original form, or Lord Shiva did not exist in original form. But the Supreme, the Paramatma, has no name in Hinduism. And obviously, he did not exist in any physical form. So if anybody so frankly nobody does knows what is God and who's God, and though I would spiritually people say there's one God and you will only experience that God, but you will not probably see, and maybe somebody will see, but it's all very individual discovery or experience, I would say. Yeah, you can always brainstorm and generalize, yeah, but generally everybody will agree that there is one God and there is one supreme authority, and who's nobody has seen. So now if I try to bust these myths, not to I'm not degrading any religion is a law. In my understanding, religion is a rule written by some realized soul, or a yogi, or avatar, or a god, whatever it is, but it's a religion is a law. So don't consider religion as God only. God, religion is different, law, God is different. So we are only discussing God. Don't mix up. So don't get antagonized if I talk about any religion. I'm just trying to figure out what is God. So if I go by Islamic definition, and I think in my as far as I have come to know, though I don't have any proofs, this is all some historical records or some hearsay that somebody says Islam was born 1400 years before. So if I say whatever number of years before Islam was born, this religion was born, and it was created by Prophet, suppose. So what before Prophet? And what before this? What before Prophet existed? Wasn't there a God? Wasn't this universe there? Wasn't this world there? Wasn't this planet there? Weren't people living here? Weren't species living here? So who created that? So if there was a God before that, then how can you have another God after that? And why should you call him God? It can be avatar, or I mean, you can define it. God cannot be defined actually. Frankly, he's formless and he's infinite. He can't be defined, and he never was born and he never died. He's infinite. So you cannot give a physical form to God or a name to a God. So as a religion comes, people call the supreme of that religion as God, but it got formed at a particular time, and before that time there was still a God. So now who's that God? So whom should we say is God? I'm just trying to understand. This is a very simple reasoning, I think. which should be discussed to really understand who's actually a god. Why should we call so and so a god, and why not so and so else, somebody else a god? I'm just brainstorming. And if I go to Christianity said 2000 years before Christianity came. I don't know how many thousand years. So suppose if I say, just for sake of reasoning, we said 2000 years before Christianity came and Jesus came, and Jesus is the God. So again, my same argument is, wasn't the world existing, and if the world was existing, then who was a God for that world? And when there was no Christian, what religion was there? So there must be some religion. Before Islam, there must be some religion, or probably there was no religion in that particular region, and Christianity was limited to some region. So you mean the God was there in some region, and he did not belong to some of the human species in some other region? So that means there are many gods based on the beliefs of certain group of people. So they say so and so is my god, and then some region people are not aware probably of about that god, and then they are living without a god. Then somebody appears, and then they say, okay, he's my god now. He is actually God. So God also, as per them, was born, and he did not exist before, but the world existed before. So you mean that world existed without a god? If I come to Hinduism, I don't know how old is Hinduism. So they said so and so gods are there. But in Hinduism, they don't know, there's no physical God. Like Lord Krishna was there, Lord Ram was there. But they were called avatars, they were not called Paramatma. They were avatars of gods. Now again, they say there's only one God. So this is something which I believe, because there is one God who was always there, eternally there, who has no name and who has no form. Yeah, he can take forms, different places, and those forms can be acknowledged by people as God, and then they will create a religion after that. But if you really see, all these will be linked to the one supreme God who's been eternal, because one fact we know that before all these cults and religions came, or these belief systems came, and they have a finite timeline, they came sometime. But when you talk of this universe, nobody knows the timeline. And if you don't know the timeline, if you say infinite, then obviously the God is also infinite, which has no end and beginning. So why not think about God in those terms and disconnect religion with God? Understand the creation separately, de-link religion with the creation, and understand the science of creation. Understand God from that point of view. Don't see God from a religious point of view, because understand what is religion. Religion is nothing to do with the creation. Religion has also to do with the creation, because you have to understand why were you created, who created you, and if somebody created you, then he created you, and some wise people wrote a law which became a religion. So my only I was just wondering that who was a god before these religions were born. So if there was a god before that, because the world existed, then why do we look at some these gods as God? Why not look at the infinite God, eternal God, timeless God? Why do we look at finite time-bound God, or space-bound God, or belief-bound God, or the followership-bound God? This is what it is. So we divide ourselves in this planet. Humanity gets divided by thinking a little differently, and not really thinking intelligently, not thinking scientifically. So if you think that way, you will realize that we are all one. You will understand the unity in humanity. You will understand the oneness in humanity. You will understand the oneness in this creation. You will understand God is everywhere, in every element of this earth, and He is the creator. You have to think about the creator of the universe. So you'll go above all these divides. These are all divides, and without understanding the difference between God and religion. Thank you.